Bloomberg.com is reporting that Donald Trump has pulled his advertisement out of the state of Florida just ahead of the 2020 election. Now, this is significant news considering that Florida is a critical battleground state, but Donald Trump has signaled that he is all but surrendering because of the lack of funds to compete in that state. According to Bloomberg.com, Trump pulls Florida ads as cash-poor campaign enters the final week. Quote, President Donald Trump's campaign has all but pulled its advertising out of Florida as it stakes its relatively small bank account on the industrial northern states that carried him to victory in 2016. Since the beginning of the fall campaign on Labor Day, Trump has cut $24 million from his national ad budget, while former Vice President Joe Biden has added $197 million. Biden has outspent Trump 3-1 over that time. Trump is now placing his final bet on just 4 battleground states: Michigan, Minnesota, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Polls show he's down in all of those states but Ohio, where it's effectively even. So this is a critical moment. The funding necessary to push through the end of the election, both in advertising and getting out the vote, is critical. And Donald Trump has signaled that he has insufficient funding to carry out that goal in the state of Florida. And so he has consolidated his entire campaign into 4 other battleground states. But here's a critical thing to understand. Without Florida, according to Time magazine, there's almost no path for Donald Trump to stay in the White House. Quote, Biden has other paths to the White House that don't include Florida, but a Florida win would almost guarantee his win by virtue of Trump's loss. If you bring Florida home, this thing's over, former President Barack Obama said on Saturday. And this has been historically true. It's very rare that a Republican can win the White House without Florida. So this move by Donald Trump to try to consolidate his losses by spending all of his money in the northern industrial areas in the battleground states of the North really signifies that he's giving up in the state of Florida. But this does not mean that anyone can take it for granted. If people don't show up in these last few days, anything can happen in the state of Florida. Michael Bloomberg has jumped into the conversation, stating that he plans to spend at least $100 million in Florida to support Joe Biden. According to CNN Politics, billionaire and former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg is planning on spending at least $100 million in the crucial battleground state of Florida in support of Democratic nominee Joe Biden, a source familiar with the plans confirmed to CNN. Last week, an NBC Morris College poll showed the race in a dead heat in the Sunshine State, with Biden and President Trump each garnering support of 48% of likely voters. And so Donald Trump is pulling out his advertisements. Some people believe that he thinks that he has Florida in the bag. Others believe that it is a complete surrender, showing that he does not have the money to compete. But at the end of the day, the only polling that matters is who makes it out to the poll on Election Day or prior to Election Day. According to Real Clear Politics average of polls, Donald Trump has the smallest of margins ahead of Joe Biden in the state of Florida by 0.4%, which is well within the margin of error. And so these last few days will be critical. And the fact that Joe Biden has a cash advantage really signals that turnout could be in his favor. Earlier this week, we were reporting from MSNBC that Florida has seen an astronomical jump in the number of voters between the ages of 18 and 29 who have turned out to vote early as compared to 2016. In 2020, 257,720 Floridians between the ages of 18 and 29 showed up to vote early. And in 2016, there was only 44,107. And so across the country, but particularly in Florida, we're seeing historic turnout, and it shows that this competition is far from over. So with Donald Trump pulling his money out of Florida, that's a good sign, suggesting that he doesn't believe that he's going to be competitive in the last 7 days, or that his resources are going to be better spent. And with Joe Biden getting an influx of cash from not only his own coffers, but also from Michael Bloomberg, there's a strong possibility that we could see a turn of the tide where Donald Trump only has a 0.4% advantage over Joe Biden. Joe Biden could actually pull out a victory in Florida. Here's the critical thing. No matter what the polling says, if we don't get out the vote, none of this matters. Cash doesn't matter as much as actual bodies at the polls.